YouTube, welcome to Jackie's Litter Corner. I am Jackie, and it's time for a reading update. Finally can film an update for you guys. So, I worked all this week, and, I don't like to film in the morning and right before I go to work, because I want to use that time to do other things. And you guys know I ramble on these videos and get off topic frequently, so I don't like filming right before I have to go to work. And then also, by the time I get home from off work, I'm exhausted and I don't want to film anything. So, and you would get, and I film things before when I'm tired, and I feel like it's not the best videos. But what happened was I was off 3 days before, like, right around Labor Day. I had the Sunday right before Labor Day and Labor Day Monday off, and then Tuesday. So my mom figured, I figured it would be a good opportunity for me to accompany my mom to visit my grandma, because she wanted to see her, spend time with her. And it's only a 3-hour drive, so unfortunately I was working on Wednesday the next day, so I would have to come back on Tuesday, which is kind of, a bit much for my mom, because it means she won't get to stay as long to visit my grandma. But, she was willing to do it just to at least go visit, to spend some time with her. And then she forgot my uncle was planning on coming down up here to visit my dad and play golf. So I ended up riding back with him. And we left early in the morning, and then on the way back, I got a call from work. Luckily, we left early, so we were going to get home in the afternoon, so I was able to come in, so, I would be able to come in, and I needed the hours because I recently, at the end of August going to September, I made 2 big purchases, so I was like, okay, let me make up for that. So I ended up agreeing to go in, and then later I think on that day, I ran into a coworker who had an appointment on this coming Friday. And I was supposed to have Friday off. And then I figured, and he's a coworker that's helped me out a lot. Like, he's been very helpful with, like, when I have to collect the recycle. And if it's a crazy day and I need a little help bringing shopping carts in the parking lot, he's always been there to help me out. So even though I was reluctant, and not because of him, but because I was just tired, and I was supposed to come in that Tuesday, and I was being whiny and just being like, I don't want to do it. I was like, and I did apologize to him later and be like, it wasn't you. It's not that I don't want to help you out. It's just I was being whiny about it and not wanting to come in on Friday. But I will do it because you've helped me out a lot, and I feel like I should do this for you and help you out. Now, it did end up being that his appointment was canceled anyway, but I, was like, let me just go in anyway, because I need the hours, like I said. So I went on yesterday, and it was a little bit, I came home, I didn't come home I was able to come home at 4 instead, which worked out, because at least I wasn't, like, rushing to, because it's the first Friday of the month, and there's a big town function going on, and my parents wanted to go, so, and I was kind of in the mood to go, so I wasn't feeling rushed or anything. And plus, they didn't even send me outside yesterday, so I wasn't all sweaty and yucky, like I get whenever I go out, and bring in shopping carts, so it all worked out nicely. And then, so yeah, the only downside is I didn't get to film anything. Luckily, I had today off, so I could film right before, for my 7 on Sunday topic for this Sunday, which is nice that I was able to film on Saturday. Of course, today it's actually raining outside, and I knew as soon as I walked outside at around like 7:40 to go for my morning walk, it was very overcast and gloomy out, so I was like, oh, it's gonna rain later. Luckily, I was able to get my walk in, though. Okay, so let's talk about how the reading is going. So, first of all, like I finally got a Kindle, which is a lot smaller than I thought. I did not think it was I was thinking, and I also thought it was rectangular. I didn't realize, I thought it was going to be like some of the other devices I've gotten, but it's actually really small. And I partly was thinking of getting it because with our trip to London coming up, I was like, okay, my mom already reminded you cannot bring a bunch of books with you, and especially because books can be heavy. And at the time, I was like, paperback books are not that heavy. But then I was like, you know what? I'll just go in. Everyone loves Kindle. I do see the conveniences of Kindle. So like, let me just get. And although, in fact, I wasn't even thinking about a Kindle, but my mom has an Amazon account, and it was like, she's like, why don't you just get a Kindle? And so I finally did. And Verena, I do have Kindle Unlimited for free for 3 months. It's a tongue twister to say. Now I don't know if I'll keep it by the end of 3 months because I'm paying for other things in our household. Like I'm paying for HBO Max, or Max now. So, and I think there's another streaming network I'm paying for. So it's like, do I want to, add this to another expense? Even though it's not that much, it still adds up. Because you're paying for the subscription every month. So I don't know if I'll keep it or not. But it's kind of nice to get free books, an unlimited supply of free books. And I think you get to keep them because you're subscribed. So I think it's like the library, except for you don't have to physically return the books. You can keep them as long as you want to. I mean, I don't know if maybe at some point you can return them if you decide you don't want to keep them. Which I really appreciate that because I can take my time with the reading. I mean, I still feel a little tinge of being rushed because I might cancel it close to the 3 months being up. And the one book I'm reading, and I chose to read, let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see if I can go back to, if you can see that, right, oh, crap, no, go away. Hard to get used to because these things are so sensitive to touch. You can see that I'm reading Philip Chases the Way of Edan. Great channel if you're a fantasy reader. And I'm on chapter 9. There's 22 chapters in this, and I'm on chapter 9. And what's nice is, like, I can take. What's really great about having this Kindle is that, like, if we do, because I'm someone who will bring a book with me everywhere I go, and if we do activities where we're sitting outside in the evening, then the light will alter in this device so that I can actually read in the evening. Or if we're, we haven't done a lot of traveling, especially, but if we start traveling, if we do traveling where we're going to be on a plane in the evening, at nighttime, or in the car at nighttime, which has not happened in years, but if it does happen, I can, the light will adjust, and I don't have to worry about turning on the little light on the ceiling that might affect the driver. But it is so cool. I am really liking this. I've fought this for so long because I was a purist, reading a physical book, being able to touch a book. But like I said, I was aware of the conveniences. I get that, I understood the convenience of it, and I finally decided, you know what, it will be easier to just take this with me when we go traveling than taking a physical book. Although when I brought it with me to my grandma's because I got it right before we left. I was waiting for it to happen so I could test it out while we were at my grandma's. And it finally came right before. And my mom was getting very impatient with me because I get obsessive and anxious when I'm waiting for something or want to talk to her about getting something. And wanting to know what she thinks. I get very obsessive and anxious. Like, when things are on my mind, I don't let things go. And once I have to get them resolved and taken care of, like, now. And so she gets very impatient with me. And then later, once I got the device and we're both like in a, in a happy mood, she's like, will tease me about, oh, she's like a dog wagging her tail now that she's got what she's wanted. So yeah, I was very anxious of waiting for this thing because Amazon said was on its way. It should be coming. It would be coming that day, and I was like, and what was really, my mom was like, well, just because Amazon says it doesn't mean it's gonna be here on that day. It might change, especially because it was a holiday. But it said it was on the way, so I was like, I was determined to believe that, it was going to come. And it did. Right before my mom was ready to leave, it showed up. Because I wanted to bring it with me to test it out while going to my grandma's. And so, yes. And like I said, I'm surprised how small it is, but it's perfect for, when you're traveling, if you don't want, and if you're limited to what you can carry. Because when you travel to other countries, you don't want to carry too much. You want to be a minimalist. Because you don't want to have to worry about a bunch of having to carry a bunch of stuff that, could easily disappear. Or you could easily leave behind. So yeah, that's great. And I got this, and as you can see, I got the bundle so that I could have the charger, and a carrying case, and a case for it. Although there were other cases I looked at, and like, that were actually bigger than this. And actually some of them, like the Kindle Signature, had a stand, something that you can hold the book of the device on, but then it's kind of big and stuff, so carrying around would be a hassle. But it would be nice for, like, it would be nice to have, like, if I go to my grandma's, I will just have to worry about it when we're at her house. And it's okay if I leave stuff there because I know I can get it back. But yeah, so I'm reading this, and The Way of Edan is really good. It does explore religious fervor with, the Way of Edan is a religious belief. Edan is a god, and it's all about that, and these people are trying to convert everybody in this world to believe, to become believers of Edan. And our main character has been, I feel like there's two main characters, but we're with only one of them, Dayraven. But there was another character that seems like a main character that is the heir to one of the thrones in this world. And but we've been mostly with Dayraven, who is this young village boy, and he has been, while they're trying to hunt down a monster that killed this animal that killed one of their own, he gets enchanted by an elf. So the elves are a little different from Lord of the Rings, from Tolkien's elves. And he's put in this, what they call elf sleep. But Dayraven ends up waking up thanks to the town witch who wakes him up, and has kind of also been his tutor and is like a grandmother to him. She finds a way to wake him up. But the priest of Edan is afraid of him and tells people, no, he's an elf. He's been poisoned by elves. He's one of them now. He's a creature of the elves, and he is going to slaughter you and kill your family and stuff. And he wants to go after kill this kid, because it's the only solution. But the witch, Erd, I think that I'm saying her name right, she is like, nope, we are going to exile this kid. And his father, Dayraven's dad, agrees. So right now, Dayraven is like, he's shocked. He doesn't want to be exiled. I think his death would be better than being exiled. Which I can kind of see where someone can make that argument of, like, because you have to live with it. Like, if you're exiled, you're still alive. But once you're dead, you're dead. Whatever you believe, whether you believe once you're dead, you're gone forever and nothing. Or if you believe in afterlife, if you're dead, it doesn't matter. Whether you believe in afterlife or not, you're still dead. So what's going on in the living world won't matter to you. I mean, it might matter a little bit if you're seeing your loved ones. If if there is an afterlife and you get to see your loved ones. But you're dead. So, but he's exiled now, so he has to live with the consequences of now. He can't see his friends and family again. like his father and his girlfriend, you know. But he has a friend that accompanies him. Immar is coming with him in his exile. But it's really good. It's very fun, entertaining. And it's so far it's really good. It's just really good. I don't have a lot to say at the moment. But I'm gonna come up with it. But I will review it soon. So I'm mostly focused on this one because, like I said, I want to get this done, you know, within the month, so then I can read another book before the end of the month. I at least want. There's other books on Kindle Unlimited that I want unlimited that I would like to get to, but at least I'm gonna get through this trilogy first. And if I can get it done within a month, that'd be great, because I know one of the other books, the other main book I want to check out from Kindle Unlimited, before, you know, I have to cancel, before my mom's like, let's cancel it. That I think is a bit longer of a book. So I might end up, if we cancel Kindle Unlimited, I might buy it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to get this one done first, and ideally get to the other books. And I want to at least get through the whole trilogy before the end of the month, because I don't like the idea of, like, not having the first book and then, but buying the other two books. To me, that doesn't make any sense. You know, even though it's on a device, it's not like I have a physical copy. To me, it still doesn't make any sense to have books 2 and 3, buying 2 and 3, but not having book 1, not having bought book 1. Because once you cancel your subscription, you no longer own the books you got on Kindle Limited. But yeah, so there's that. And then the other book I'm reading, by the way, I'm stepping back from John Adams right now. I'm just gonna put it down because, like I said, I want to read the Kindle Unlimited, and I keep thinking about this other book. But I will come back to John Adams soon. I don't know when though. Because Victober is in October, and I want to read that along with some spooky books too, if I don't get them to them in September. Which, well, I'll talk about those in a moment, what I want to do. Talk about the spooky books. So, I am currently reading... I'm still reading The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And at first I thought, like, that Rogenzen was going to be the antagonist, but actually reading the back more thoroughly, it doesn't say he's an antagonist, it just says he's a very dark figure. But yeah, so right now I'm in the middle of part 2. There's 3 parts. And I'm in part 2 right now. And, like, I did not want Mishkin to fall for Nastasia, but I think he did. Because he thinks he sees her true self. I think, if anything, I think she's the antagonist in the story, because she is so mean and cold and stuff. Although, I think she might be one of those women who was wronged as a young girl, so she's grown up to be a hateful person, to be a master manipulator of men, because she doesn't like how they were treating her when she was younger, and this one guy, like, basically owned her and her sisters. I think I'm interpreting correctly, I don't know. So it's kind of made her cold and cruel, especially to men. So she uses these guys and flirts with them and doesn't want to get tied down with being a marriage. And, you know, Mishkin, you know, is like, I'm in love with you, I see your true self. And the problem with that is that she knows that she's not a nice person. She knows she's a horrible person. And she thinks, and there's this one slither of her that's decent enough to realize, yeah, I'm not good for you. You should not like me. You know, you can do better than me. She definitely realizes that he should have better standards, because she, you know, because she knows that he sees some supposed good in her, and she does not. She does not believe that she has that. So she's like, nope, you need to stay away from me, and continues using Rogan Sin and some of the other characters, some of the other male characters, who, although Rogan Zin is probably the only one left other than Prince Mishkin, who, oh my god, he is such, like, he was like, he's still in love with her, he's like, I'm gonna let her go because you want to be with her, because he becomes friends with Rogan Zin. Again, I apologize, I don't know if I'm saying these names, I still don't know how to say these names. He's like, I'm gonna bow out, you can have her. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't still have feelings for her and still want to be with her and think that she deserves better than you, but I'm also, you're my friend now. And Michigan is such a good person. It's like, dude, you're too nice. But I don't know, I might be that way myself if I were in his position. But yeah, I'm just like, why, I'm just like, why are you, you should not. But it's so far, it's so intriguing. And then at one point, he's just like, he feels bad because he feels like he still kind of has feelings for her, and he's trying not to go visit her. And because of that, because he's like, no, I told myself I would not associate with her because this guy who's now my friend loves her, so I'm gonna give her up. And he feels guilty because he wants to go see her. But there's some interesting philosophical discussions in this book. Got something on it. But yeah, that's the thing about Dostoevsky. He waxes and wanes about his philosophies and his beliefs in his books. I mean, Tolstoy does it too, but I think he's a little more succinct about it, and spends a little less time waxing and waning about it than Dostoevsky does. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really enjoying being inside Prince Mishkin's head. And then the Epians, the family he met earlier, that their daughter was going to marry the other rival for Nastasia's affections. He becomes friends with that family, and the mom of that family is kind of mad because Prince Mishkin did not show up and visit them when he came back into town. She was mad about that and was pitching a hissy fit about it, and then later she hears that he has had one of his fits, one of his seizures, as they would call it today, and she thinks he's seriously ill. Oh my god, he's on his deathbed, and then the oldest boy, I don't know if he's the brother of her daughter's suitor, the other guy. Yeah, I think he's the brother of the guy who wanted to, the other rival that was going to originally marry her daughter. If that makes any sense. Sorry, like I said, I struggle with pronouncing the names. He was the one who told her about Prince Mishkin, so she misinterprets it and shows up and thinks he's on his deathbed and realizes he's actually not. He's just had a seizure and had to rest for a few days. For a little bit. Which I know about how those seizures work. They might not necessarily last for that long. They might, they don't last. I don't know if they would last for days. I mean, I don't know a lot about them, but I do know a little bit. And I don't think they last for days. So it's definitely not a person on their deathbed, but if you don't understand it and don't know what's going on, then you might misinterpret it and panic if you don't know how to handle it. Now, I have not had experience with someone actually having a seizure in front of me, so I don't know how I would handle it, but I do, like I said, I know a little bit about them. But I don't know enough to have had via experience. But I know that it doesn't mean someone's on their deathbed if they have one. I mean, depending on, although they could have something, it depends on the seizure and how they react to it, like what they physically their physical reaction, if they have one. Like, it depends. But generally, no. I don't think they'll be on their deathbed. So it was kind of funny how overdramatic she is being, how she's like, I'll forgive you because you might be on your deathbed for not visiting us. But she definitely is a socialite and definitely cares about what people think and likes attention and stuff. So anyway, so that's where I'm at in the idiot right now. So I want to read a good chunk of this. Like I said, my priority is The Way of a Dand on my Kindle, but I do want to get this done. So I want to be, as well. But, so that is how my readings that is my current readings update for you guys. Would love to know in the comments below what you are currently reading. Do you guys have a Kindle or any other e-reader? Would love to hear about it. And what's your experience with it? Has it been very positive? Are there negative things about it you don't like? And what do you usually read on your Kindle? Like, I've been reading, I think what I'm going to do is use it to read bigger books that I don't, that could potentially take up space if I buy a physical copy, or I'm thinking about it, downloading the books that you don't find them necessarily on Books A Million or Barnes & Noble, because they're not like, I'll probably use it to read those books, the ones that are still kind of finding their footing and still struggling to get out there. I'll probably use the Kindle for those kinds of books that you can't easily find, or that will take up a lot of space on my shelves if I buy a physical copy. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe if you haven't, click the bell notification button down below if you want to be notified when I upload my videos. And I hope you're enjoying your reading and having a great day, and I will talk to you all later. All right, bye!